The ecology of crime is not spread equally across society, and specific patterns in the crime rate seem to be linked to temporal and ecological factors. These factors are stable and unchanging. Day, season, and climate. Most reported crimes occur during the warm summer months of July and August. During the summer, teenagers, who usually have the highest crime levels, are out of school and have a greater opportunity to commit a crime. People spend more time outdoors during warm weather, making themselves easier targets. Similarly, homes are left vacant more often during the summer vacation months, making them more vulnerable to property crimes. Two exceptions to this trend are murders and robberies, which occur frequently in December and January. Crime rates may also be higher on the first day of the month than at any other time. Government welfare and social security checks arrive at this time, and with them come increases in such activities as breaking into mailboxes and accosting recipients on the streets. Also, people may have more disposable income at this time, and the availability of extra money may relate to behaviors associated with crime, such as drinking, partying, and gambling. Temperature weather effects, such as temperature swings, have an impact on crime rates. The human body generates stress hormones, adrenaline and testosterone, in response to excessive heat, an activity that has been linked to aggression. There is agreement that temperature influences crime rates, but there are several alternative explanations for the association. The association between temperature and crime resembles an inverted U-shaped curve. Crime rates increase with rising temperatures and then begin to decline at some point, 85 degrees, when it may be too hot for any physical exertion. Crime rates rise with temperature. The hotter the day, the higher the crime rate. Rising temperature increases some crimes, e.g. domestic assault, but the rate of others, e.g. rape, declines as temperatures rise. Population density. Large urban areas have by far the highest violence rates. Areas with low per capita crime rates tend to be rural. These findings are also supported by victim data. Exceptions to this trend are low population resort areas with large transient or seasonal populations, such as Atlantic City, New Jersey, and Nantucket, Massachusetts. Crime rates vary by region. For many years, southern states have had consistently higher crime rates in almost all crime categories than those found in other regions of the country. These data convinced some crime experts that there was a southern subculture of violence. Although the lead has flip-flopped in recent years between the South and the West, the latest UCR data, illustrated in Figure 26, indicate that Southern crime rates are once again the highest in the nation. Firearms and crime. Firearms play a dominant role in criminal activity. According to the NCVS, firearms are typically involved in about 20% of robberies, 10% of assaults, and more than 5% of rapes. According to the UCR, about 2/3 of all murders involve firearms. Most of these weapons are handguns. Criminals of all races and ethnic backgrounds are equally likely to use guns in violent attacks, and the presence of a weapon increases the likelihood that a violent incident will result in serious injury and/or death. Because of the association between guns and crime, there have been numerous efforts to restrict gun ownership, the most important being the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act, enacted on November 30th, 1993. Named after Press Secretary James Brady, shot in the attack on President Ronald Reagan, the Brady Law imposes a waiting period of 5 days before a licensed importer, manufacturer, or dealer may sell, deliver, or transfer a handgun to an unlicensed individual. The waiting period applies only in states without an acceptable alternate system of conducting background checks on handgun purchasers. Beginning November 30th, 1998, the Brady Law changed, providing an instant check on whether a prospective buyer is prohibited from purchasing a weapon. Federal law bans gun purchases by people convicted of or under indictment for felony charges, fugitives, the mentally ill, those with dishonorable military discharges, those who have renounced U.S. citizenship, illegal aliens, illegal drug users, and those convicted of domestic violence misdemeanors or who are under domestic violence restraining orders. Individual state laws may create other restrictions. The Brady Law now requires background approval, not just for handgun buyers, but also for those who buy rifles and shotguns. In addition, the Federal Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994 banned a group of military-style semi-automatic firearms, that is, assault weapons. However, This ban on assault weapons was allowed to lapse in 2004.